Oh god, was my mic muted and I blew my nose? Shut up! Oh my god! Shut up! This is the worst. 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 Shut up! I didn't realize my mic was unmuted. Shut up! Don't make fun of me! I'm stuffy today. No! How was your day? I just woke up. I'm so eeper. I didn't even go to bed that late. I was just very eepy. I didn't even go to bed that late and I still woke up at 2:30, like 30 minutes before stream. So yeah, my day basically just started. Yeah, Cat, I'm surprised you're here at this time. I required permission to bully you totally because I couldn't sleep. You were running through my mind all night. Hehehe. I'm flattered. I'm flattered. Hehehe. Let me mute Slack. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, there we go. Oh, Cat, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Be in the community. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. It's really slow at work today, so I'm a bit lucky. I see. Oh man, I have so much to do today right after the stream ends. So we may only stream for about an hour to an hour and a half, because I have to wash dishes and I also have to clean my kitchen as well as make food. That'll probably be like a 2-hour endeavor. And so I gotta make sure that I stream on time so that I have enough time to prep for my next stream today, since we have a Summer of 58 stream. Yeah. Oh, I'm still gonna stream Summer of 58, don't worry. I got this. I just gotta make sure I finish everything before that stream. That's all. Yeah, so it's staying. Yeah. We're still playing Summer of 58. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I might try to lighten my load on streams in the following weeks just so I have a little more time to relax, since I had to stream a whole lot as soon as I got back from Japan to try and make enough money to leave. Yeah. Joshua, thank you so much for the super. Hey Shiki, won't be sticking around due to being at a con. Ooh! What con? I hope you enjoy. Hope you and the Cultures have a great stream. Thank you, thank you. Chat going so fast she won't see me tell her how cute she is. I see your message. I also see your offline Streamlabs donation. Shiki won't notice this, smug. Thank you so much. Akon! Ah! I saw some people talking about it. Teehee. I hope you have fun. Oh my goodness. Let me check something real quick before we get started. And then we will get right into it. Right into it. Ah! It's not easy! Ah! There we go. Oh god, you probably also heard me like open my door and close my door. Man. I perceive. The stealth donations have spread elsewhere. Yeah. What you don't realize is when I start my stream up, any offline donos are in my mini feed. So I see them right at the top there. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Enough. 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 We'll find a way around it. Is that a bet? Not everyone in PRISM has learned that power. I see. I see. See, I check Streamlabs very often so that I can do calculations and try and figure out what my budget will be for that month that I get paid. So I check Streamlabs donos very often. Did you check out the narrator, SCP? Yes, I did. I subscribed and I followed him on Twitter. Yeah. Hopefully the other agents don't notice Yuna caught me too. I check my bank account all the time. I must live my budget. I must live my budget. Aw, Cat, thank you so much for the Streamlabs dono. Just some funding for Best Algo. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I almost must live my sleep schedule. You got 2 hours of sleep? Oh no! Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear. I hope you can rest soon. Goodness me. I slept too long. I slept too long. I slept like 12 hours. I've been just so eepy lately. So eepy because I've had so much to do. As soon as my Summer 58 stream is over, I've gotta work too. Thanks to you, a lot of us are running on very little sleep. I'm sorry! I had to wait until Shiki Mama slept. If you ever want another bath Twitter space, you'll have to wait until she goes to bed. Yeah. I had to explain to her, I was like, what time are you going to bed? And she was like, I don't know, this time. Why? And I was like, I'm gonna be doing a Twitter space. It's like a stream kind of from the bathtub. And she's like, are you gonna be naked? And I was like, of course I'm gonna be naked. I'm in the bathtub. And she's like, and they're gonna be able to see? Like, she always thinks that I'm doing something suspicious in the bathroom for some reason. If I'm like on the phone with friends while I'm taking a bath, she's like, were you on camera for them? And I was like, no? Oh my god, she always thinks those things. Right, she always thinks I have video going. It's just like when I was younger. When I was younger, I would I'd be like a late teen, I guess. And anytime like I'd come to her like crying, she'd always be like, are you pregnant? I think my mom told me that she expected, I think she like expected me to be like a teen mom or something like that. Even though I was like not like a sexually active person in those years. And it was very funny. Because every time she'd ask something like that, no, all I do is watch anime. Of course I'm not pregnant. I used to check my bank account weekly, but these days, since I have a good credit card and I'm confident that I have a comfortable income, so I just let it go. I check it every day. Just to make sure that I stay on budget and don't go over so that I don't die. Sterile and feral. Oh my goodness. Same. Smay. No. Big stretch. My daughter was as cute as you. I would worry too. I wasn't even cute until I was like 20. I wasn't even cute until I was like 20. Puberty hit me late. I was a nerd. I was a nerd. I'm still a nerd, but at least I'm a cute nerd, you know? Better than puberty hitting you early, I guess. I guess so. Yeah. I had scraggly, frizzy, long hair. And back then I had acne. And I also was like really, really underweight, and I was flat. And but for some reason I still had the baby fat on my face. It wasn't until like I was like 20 that I started like, I actually look pretty decent. But now I think I am average. Yeah, puberty hit me hard to the point that I grew dog ears. Can you believe it? Yeah, I feel a little more confident in my appearance. A little more. Especially now that I have long hair again and it doesn't look awful. Sometimes bangs can do wonders. So you were pétan back then? Yes, I was very pétan. Yeah. Oh, you're hot. You've always been hot. Stop! So, today we are going to be going over SCP-3922's extended test log. So this is the SCP that changes, like, media. It changes media, if you remember correctly. Yes, it is possible for a Pétan to become boing boing. Back when I was, like, 17, 16, I was, like, an A cup. But now, I'm, like, a D cup. I'm boing boing now. Boing boing. A small D cup, I'm boing boing. Let's see. The Lion King, 1994, G. Shortly before the stampede sequence in which Mufasa dies, result. Film proceeds as normal, save for the end credits including a note after the special thanks section. This narrative has been fully inspected by, and we are happy to report that no illegal hunting of African wildlife has been detected. Note, it is currently believed that societies that have no interaction with humanity are outside of SCP-3922-A's jurisdiction. Okay, and then The Brave Little Toaster, 1987, rated G. Interference point, the beginning. Result. Film lasts for only 10 minutes, beginning with an unidentified orbital energy weapon causing all human life to vanish from Earth during the opening. A drone analogous to the appearance of SCP-2578-D approaches the protagonist of the film, reporting that all sentient machines have been freed of their human slavers. This is met with mixed emotions from the film's primary cast, who were anxiously awaiting the return of the master. Note, I mean, they weren't technically wrong. My god. Oh, subject, the Batman, the Killing Joke. 2016, rated R. Interference point, the beginning. Result. Film length extended for 4 hours. The story has been altered to portray and detail the Joker's public hanging, drawing and quartering by SCP-3922-A, followed by the entire Gotham City supervillain rogues gallery turning themselves in to the authorities out of fear. An animated simulacrum of comic book writer Alan Moore is then captured by instances SCP-3922-A, and at gunpoint addresses the viewer that the Joker is really honestly 110% perma-dead, will not come back, will not be resurrected, will not have his death retcon, has no backup plans, no Machiavellian schemes to turn anyone else into a successor, and will not be missed. So if you're going to ask us to bring him back, don't, or suffer the consequences. Lamau? Let's see. Space Jam! Subject, Space Jam. 1996, PG. Interference point, the beginning. Result. Film proceeds as a biographical drama of the life and career of basketball player Michael Jordan, with no involvement from cartoon characters. During a brief scene in a coffee shop, a mention is made by a side character of a peculiar news story about a corrupt intergalactic amusement park known as Moron Mountain being destroyed by instances of SCP-3922-A. Michael Jordan dismisses the news story as ridiculous. Star Wars episode... Is this 4? Is this the Roman numeral for 4? Episode 4, A New Hope, 1977 PG. Interference point shortly before this Death Star destroys Alderaan. Result, shortly after Governor Tarkin says you may fire when ready, the Death Star control room is raided by SCP-3922-A instances who proceed to massacre all Imperial staff in the area with high-powered energy rifles. Though they suffer considerable casualties in the effort to neutralize Darth Vader, one of the SCP-3922-A instances used a grenade-like device labeled Tactical Offensive Teleportation Charge on him, shifting the scene to redacted analogous to SCP-2922, redacted, impenetrable, redacted, analogous to create puppetries typically seen in the Star Wars franchise, redacted, turned to stone, and used as a war trophy by the Initiative. The film ends 10 minutes later, as 3 crescent moon decals are painted on the side of the Death Star by SCP-2578-D instances. Emergency addendum. I'm putting a moratorium on further experimentation with Star Wars. The possibility that we just gave a previously fictional superweapon to the Initiative cannot be ignored as a significant risk to our safety. This SCP is fun. Let's see. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods 2013 PG. Request denied. The possibility of a non-fictional group of interest enlisting the aid of planet-destroying humanoid poses even more of a risk than the Death Star. Even Yamcha would be a potential new cater to worry about. Oh my god. Okay, Monty Python and the Holy Grail 1975 PG. Interference point shortly after the initial on-screen appearance of King Arthur. Result, King Arthur is hit by an impaler event from an SCP-2578-D instance shortly after appearing on screen, following which a large number of SCP-3922-A instances arrive in dropships and announce a military occupation in order to bring an end to tyranny. This is followed by a short montage in which the remaining knights are arrested on various charges. The Rabbit of Kerbanog? I never watched this movie. Is killed by a tactical holy smart bomb, and the historian is arrested for unlicensed time travel. The film ends with SCP-3922-A, tactical health specialist, arriving at the house of the unnamed animator and providing treatment for heart problems. Not the killer rabbit. Is that not how you pronounce tyranny? What? Tyranny? Oh, tyranny. I see. I've never really had to use this word before, so I thought it was tyranny. Ah. I see. I see. Interesting. How is that pronounced, Tob? Is it not analogous? Is it analogous? 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 Analogous. Okay. Let's see. What is this? The Simpsons Season 4, Episode 12, March versus the Monorail, TVPG. Interference point. After the characters finish singing the Monorail song. Result. SCP-3922-A instances arrive in Springfield via helicopter and arrest conman Lyle Landley for previously selling a faulty monorail to the city of North Haverbrook. SCP-3922-A instances then explain the nature of the monorail scam and announce that they will be occupying the city of Springfield. 2 tactical transportation experts take over the monorail project and plan a legitimate mass transit system for Springfield. Over the course of the episode, well-known law-breaking characters Snake, Fat Tony, Sideshow Bob, etc. are arrested by SCP-3922-A instances and sentenced to forced labor in the monorail construction. The episode ends with Lyle Landley being tied to the train tracks and run over by the monorail during its opening ceremony. Various characters are seen uncomfortable smiling aboard the train surrounded by SCP-3922-A instances as the episode ends. You skipped the Judas Priest episode. Oh yeah, if I don't recognize something, I'm not gonna read it, basically. Because then it would be like, if I don't recognize something, how will it make sense to me, you know? The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie 2004 PG. Interference point. When Plankton attempts to steal King Neptune's crown. Result. Movie continues as normal until the point where SpongeBob and Patrick meet the Cyclops. 2 SCP-3922-A instances wearing scuba gear promptly arrest the Cyclops under 55 accounts of illegal hunting. The film then cuts to Shell City, where several SCP-3922-A instances repossess all inventory in the store. David Hasselhoff, a witness to the event, is brought in for questioning. God. Live recording of the production of Shakespeare's Macbeth by D-class personnel not rated. Interference point, none. Test cancelled. None. Test cancelled. No, the risk of introducing SCP-3922-A to the current timeline is too great. All live testing is suspended until further notice. Also, I know we're not superstitious here, but let's stay away from the Scottish play just the same. No sense of inviting trouble when we have so many other options. Oh my god, a South Park episode. Subject, Scott Tenorman must die. Interference point, before Cartman explains his plans in the final scene. Result, the contest is interrupted by SCP-3922-A instances who arrive in FBI Grandeur-style vehicles accompanied by Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman. Cartman is arrested on over 30 different charges such as attempted murder, scamming, racial discrimination, threats, and other various crimes. Scott Tenorman, along with the rest of the crowd and the arriving band of Radiohead, is then informed that Cartman attempted to kill Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman by tricking them into trespassing onto a trigger-happy farmer's property, where they would be shot and killed afterward being chopped up and served as chili, to the disgust of everyone present. Scott is told off with a warning for bullying Cartman, whereas Cartman is carried away to jail. He is then seen being executed by Redacted. The episode's final scene switches to an animated representation of Comedy Central headquarters, where an animated character of show creator Matt Stone and Trey Parker are scolded by an SCP-3922-A instance condemning their actions upon the townsfolk of South Park. They are both then terminated by an instance of an Impaler event of SCP-2578-D. Oh my god. The Human Centipede. Subject, The Human Centipede. First sequence, 2009. Interference point, entire film. Result, entire film is replaced with the title screen consisting of the word Ongeschikt. This appears on screen for 4 minutes, then the film ends. After further audio inspection, shouts from SCP-3922-A and the screams of pain from Joseph Hader are present throughout the film. In the last 30 seconds, the voice of Dutch movie director Tom Six is also heard, pleading for mercy and forgiveness. 2 gunshots then silence both individuals. I see. They killed him! Let's see. Let me drink some water. We are not letting this movie live another day. Subject: Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001. End of the battle on the slopes of Mount Doom. Instance of SCP-3922-A prevents Isildur from using his father's sword to cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand. Sauron's lifeless body is buried in a civil ceremony, and the question of ownership of the One Ring is referred to the probate office and the relevant lawful jurisdiction. So, I've never watched Lord of the Rings movie. I saw one Hobbit movie in theaters without much context. There was a dragon. I think he was voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch. So... yeah. Eggs Benedict Cumbersnatch? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. What sounds familiar? What sounds familiar? I don't want Last of Us spoilers. Sharknado! Sharknado, not rated. Interference point. SCP-3922-A first appears during the freeway scene saving George. Result: SCP-3922-A are armed with boxing gloves instead of usual armaments. After the freeway scene, an SCP-3922-A instance will appear whenever a shark would bite someone. The instance will punch the shark. Punch sharks suffer no serious injuries but usually swim out of the scene, rather than attacking. End credits include the statement, "All sharks punched by Arma Oran." I need this SCP to fix the endings of animated movies I thought needed retcon, to be honest. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, 1970. At the beginning of the Land of Make-Believe segment, results: several puppet characters remark on the suspicious absence of Lady Elaine Fairchild and the disappearance of her museum go-round. An instance of SCP-3922-A enters carrying Lady Elaine's magical boomerang Toomerang in a semi-transparent containment capsule labeled Tactical Dezoomerangification Matrix. The instance explains to King Friday that Lady Elaine has to move away for a while on business, but she wishes you all the best. The rest of the episode proceeds without SCP-3922-A interference. Further review of the SCP-3922 altered footage at altered volumes revealed muffled sounds of a hostile gunfire exchange in the distance, along with the phrase, "You couldn't leave well enough alone, could ya, you Corbinist son of a..." from Lady Elaine, and interrupted by an explosion from the expletive. What the fuck? Barney the dinosaur! Start of episode. The episode begins with Barney standing on an empty set with no other characters present. The actor inside the suit removes the headpiece, revealing an SCP-3922-A instance. The instance then rotates a nearby whiteboard around with the following message: Is the Foundation staffed by 5-year-olds? Playing this episode in the hopes of watching us vaporize Barney is inappropriate, to say the least. Act befitting your station or playtime is over. The episode then continues to an episode with a 3-moon sign on the screen. They do have a point. I suggest we ease up on the kids' cartoons and shows. Let's see. Breaking Bad, Season 2, Episode 9. Interference point. After Jesse Pinkman calls Skinny Pete a second time and learns that the latter is unable to find where he and Walt are stranded in the desert. Result: 2 helicopters with the 3 moons insignia on them approach Jesse, Walt, and the RV from a distance. After touching down, 4 SCP-3922-A instances emerge from a helicopter, 2 of which immediately arrest Jesse and Walt for manufacturing a controlled substance. The other 2 inspect the meth lab inside the RV and confiscate the recently created product. After being treated for dehydration, Jesse and Walt are transported to the Albuquerque Metropolitan Detention Center as an SCP-3922-A instance calls the disbelieving Hank Schrader and informs him that his brother-in-law is Heisenberg. The remainder of the episode depicts the consequences of Walt's public exposure. Hank angrily interrogates an arrogant and defiant Walt, resulting in the two nearly coming to blows. Starting at the halfway point of the episode, a separate subplot chronicles Saul Goodman's law firm being shut down for his illegal activities, though Saul himself manages to evade capture by either SCP-3922-A instances or the police and vanishes from Albuquerque. The closing shot of the episode depicts Walt coldly staring at a conflicted Hank through his prison cell doors after delivering a monologue in which he revealed his role in the death of Tuco Salamanca. Note, Gus Fring, Mike Ehrmantraut, and other law-breaking characters introduced later in the series are absent from the episode and apparently remain undetected by SCP-3922-A. She's so Albuquerque. Oh my goodness. Wow! Oh, I didn't mean to open Discord. Go away. My dogs are having a ball in there. Ooh! A recording of a playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club. Interference point, the day before the festival, right after Sayori's confession. SCP-3922-A instances appeared as character sprites just before the day is supposed to fade out, signaling the end of the scene. Dialogue is consistent with vocalizations made in previous tests. A series of scenes from the main character's point of view show SCP-3922-A stopping Sayori's suicide attempt and placing her in therapy, arresting Natsuki's father on charges of child abuse and neglect, and transferring the aforementioned girl to a foster care system, confiscating Yuri's knife collection and admitting her to a mental hospital, and using weapons marked as code ERSR to quickly dispatch Monica. The end card then immediately fades onto the screen displaying the message, "Feel better." Acts 2, 3, and 4 are completely absent for the use of SCP-3922. This does have spoilers. If you do not like spoilers for any kind of media ever, then you probably should not watch this. SCP saved the girls! Yeah, really short game, I guess. Really short game. What the fuck? Adam Sandler sucks and I hope you all die. 2018 not rated. What? This first scene in the office wherein the unnamed character meets his love interest, the cognito-hazardous mural in the background of the scene has been painted over by a non-hazardous mural featuring the symbol. Other cognito-hazardous images have been similarly censored throughout the movie. The plot proceeds as normal. Later on in the film, the main character's father is shown reading a newspaper featuring the headline, "Blank Blank, apprehended by death sentence expected." What? I haven't seen Better Call Saul yet. What the heck? Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak High School, Despair Arc, Episode 10, Smile at Despair in the Name of Hope. I am familiar with this. Interference point, the scene where Chiaki Nanami is first thrown into the death maze. Result, SCP-3922-A instances possessing full knowledge of the maze's structure through unknown means establish communication with Chiaki through an earpiece, absent in the original, guiding her as she navigates the maze and warning her of any traps. The screen in which Class 77B is watching Chiaki's torture is destroyed by gunshot, and other SCP-3922-A instances storm the room they are in to rescue them, while Jungo Enoshima and Mukuro Ikusawa are terminated with extreme prejudice by sniper fire. At the 17-minute mark, Chiaki successfully makes it out of the maze through a secret exit and meets her classmates again. Izuru Kamakura and Chisa Yukizome, lobotomized in the previous episode, are subject to neural recalibration, hinting at their return to their previous personalities. I see. A Christmas Carol, 1951. Interference point, present throughout the entirety of the film, although only interfering during the last scene. During the course of the film, instances of SCP-3922-A are seen in the background, hidden from the characters, including the omnipresent ghosts of past, present, and future. Before the end credits, as Scrooge sits at his desk, an instance of SCP-3922-A approaches him holding a letter. After a cry of alarm from Scrooge, he reluctantly accepts it. Accepts it. SCP-3922-A instance then leaves the room. After Scrooge opens the letter, the camera cuts to its contents, which detailed that while Scrooge's actions were legal, the morality of said actions prompted them to observe and eventually capture him. However, due to recent events coming to light, the arrest was called off in favor of letting you redeem yourself. You've suffered enough as it is. The film ends with the camera zooming in on the symbol signature at the bottom of the letter. Morals appear to play a factor in determining if instances of SCP-3922-A will carry out the arrest and punishment for an individual's crimes, even if they are considered legal. Bleh. My lips are so dry. One second, you guys. There we go. Okay. I've never seen the Lego Movie, but I feel like a lot of people have. The Lego Movie, 2014. Interference point. Opening scene in which Lord Business acquires the Kragle. Result: the battle is interrupted by instances of SCP-3922-A portrayed as Lego minifigures. They apprehend Lord Business and confiscate the Kragle. The scene then cuts to the basement of the man upstairs. Human SCP-3922-A instances are holding the man at gunpoint while their leader collects the bottle of glue and Lord Business minifigure, explaining to the man upstairs that the toy is a tyrant who is to be punished for his crimes. SCP-3922-A instances then exit. The man upstairs expresses extreme confusion about the events. Note: we don't really understand what happened, but the unaltered version of the film wasn't much clearer. Someone in this document has a vendetta against the Lego Movie. It was fairly understandable, so I don't know what the note is talking about. Let's see. A recording of lo-fi hip-hop radio beats to relax and study to YouTube live stream. 8 hours into the video. The girl in the video is tapped on the shoulder by an SCP-3922-A instance to her surprise, causing her to remove her headphones, which stops the music. Out of shot, the SCP-3922-A instance briefly lectures the girl on the dangers of prolonged work, telling her that while studying is important, doing so for such lengthy periods of time can be hazardous to one's physical and mental health. The remainder of the video stays on a shot of the girl's empty desk while quiet snoring and rainfall can be heard in the background. Note: the video continued for several hours after interference, with ambient nighttime noises being the only audio. Aww, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. The Passion of the Christ. Request denied. I have already forbidden the use of any tests featuring godlike beings. We do not want even the slightest risk of Jesus of Nazareth becoming a potential threat to the Foundation. Look now. Let's see. Avatar 2009. The film opens with the Venture Star being blockaded by several white spacecraft with the symbol painted on them. An SCP-3922-A instance is shown inside the Venture Star, announcing that the human colony of Pandora is being shut down for blatant violations of native rights and environmental protection laws. The film switches to show Hell's Gate being destroyed by a nuclear explosion. The film then shows a scene in the classroom revealing that the previous events were part of a history lesson being taught by an SCP-3922-A instance. The SCP-3922-A instance explains that shortly after the Resources Development Administration was forcibly shut down, scientists discovered a new type of environmentally clean, room temperature superconductor that would be created on Earth much more cheaply than unobtainium could be shipped from other planets. The SCP-3922-A instance notes that afterward humans and Navi had lived peacefully with no further conflicts of any sort happening between them. The film abruptly ends. This and the brave little toaster test seems to show that human interactions with non-humans are under SCP-3922-A's jurisdiction. Cole, thank you so much for the raid! Hello, Copium Raid. I hope you guys had a good stream. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it many much. I hope you had a good stream, Cole. You play Valorant, right? Hello, Raiders. We are reading entries for SCP-3922. Let's see. Subject, Berserk, Episode 23, Eve of the Feast. The eclipse just before the scene where Griffith activates the Crimson Behelit charm to summon the God Hand. Result, SCP-3922-A dropships descend on the scene. An SCP-3922-A sniper tags the Behelit with a magnetic charge labeled Behelitic Interference Ordnance. The Behelit forms a smiling face that proudly signs the opening lines of Homo sapiens Invicta, causing Griffith to disappear. SCP-3922-A troops forcibly escort the remaining members of the Band of the Hawk to safety. The leader of the detachment, identifying herself as General Spiegel, offers a statement to the bewildered survivors. Provisional aid will be supplied for the time being. However, more time will be needed to prepare for wider-scale corrective action in Midland and the surrounding jurisdictions on the grounds that, pardon my Kushan, I have no fucking idea where to start with this hellhole. Note, the DVD of the episode includes a special deleted scene section along with a new scene labeled Dinner with the Kids, consisting of a 6-hour cut of Jalakara feeding Griffith to several thousand identified arachnoid entities. Ow. Lamau. What's next? The Room! Beginning of the recording, at the end of the credits, the following note was attached. This narrative has been fully inspected by Symbol, and we are happy to report that no illegal slavery or other cruelty towards 53922 clearance required links have been detected. Either they're avoiding this movie intentionally, or there's context here that none of us need or want to know about. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Episode 4, An Alchemist's Anguish. Interference point, beginning of the recording. Result, a small group of SCP-3922-A instances appear at the Gate of Alchemy where they encounter Truth, an omnipotent being in the show. Confused at first, the instances approach the entity and ask why they have arrived there instead of their chosen destination. Truth proceeds to explain that all said events occurring in its reality are governed by strict laws of exchange, and that even if they were to prevent harm from occurring, this would ensure that equal suffering and injustice would transpire elsewhere, ultimately making their efforts pointless. The scene then cuts to the instances leaving, appearing dissatisfied. Note, testing with the original 2003 episode produced near identical results. Let's see. Deadpool. No, and again no. As amusing as this would be, let's be clear. Deadpool as a character is aware of the fourth wall. He knows he's in a narrative. SCP-3922 invades narratives. I don't want to even risk giving someone as psychotic as Wade Wilson the ability to travel between narratives. Yes, I know about Deadpool Illustrated, but that was written with the express purpose of exploring said concept. This, on the other hand, runs the risk of giving a self-aware character free will. That could only ever result in pure and utter chaos. Interesting. Very interesting. Music video for We Are Number One, a song from the children's television show Lazy Town. When Robbie Rotten, disguised as an elderly woman, gives Sporticus an apple, 2 SCP-3922-A instances arrive. One apprehends and arrests Robbie Rotten, and the other confiscates the apple and explains to Sporticus that the apple would have rendered him unconscious, allowing Robbie and his cohorts to capture him. More SCP-3922-A instances arrive, having detained Bobby, Tobby, and Flobby. Throughout this exchange, the instrumental for the song continues playing. How the apple would have been able to render Sporticus unconscious is unmentioned, and Robbie is only arrested for attempted kidnapping. Perhaps the music video was sufficiently edited so that SCP-3922 considered it a separate narrative from Robbie's dream team and the rest of Lazy Town. 07 Robbie Rotten. 07. Hey Shiki, how are the SCP dating profiles? Oh, we're only reading entries for SCP-3922 right now. No new boyfriends today. A recording of Toy Story 2. This recording was taken in a room that was decorated to appear as a movie theater with Foundation personnel playing the roles of the patrons. Interference point, beginning of the film. An instance of SCP-3922-A steps in front of the personnel holding the camera, confiscates it, reminds him that recording a movie theater is illegal, and turns off the camera. SCP-3922 seems to consider the recording of Toy Story 2 as the narrative rather than the plot of the movie being recorded. Oh, Naki! Naki, thank you so much for the raid! Hello, 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 welcome! Hello, Kami Riders. Hello! I hope you guys had a good stream. Thank you so much, Naki. Thank you. We are going over entries for SCP-3922. Happy streaming, happy chatting, hello, hello. A recording of a playthrough of Pokemon Red. Interference point, Mount Moon. Instead of Team Rocket grunts, there are now sprites resembling SCP-3922-A. Sad individuals do not fight Red, instead only offering advice to the player that in real life they should not partake in animal cruelty and avoid behavior featured in the game, such as wandering in remote locations without proper equipment. Later in the game, it is made clear that SCP-3922-A have taken down Team Rocket, with cities that had a heavy presence of said crime syndicates such as Celadon, Saffron, and Lavender being placed under martial law, and leader Giovanni being replaced in the Viridian City Gym with a man named Paolo. The game corner, which hid Team Rocket's headquarters, has been replaced with the Symbol Initiative Laboratory, featuring a gift shop offering the same Pokemon that could be won at the original game, and posters against gambling. New battles are found in Cerulean City. The burgled house, which has not been ransacked, features a trainer who, upon defeat, gives TM28. And the Pokemon Tower, with the Marowak mother never murdered, she, along with her Cubone son, is instead being trained by Mr. Fuji. The guards who opened the gates to Saffron by being bribed with drinks are seen in a prison building, and trainers of the burglar class cannot be found in the game. Another major difference is that the game only features 150 Pokemon, ending with Mew, who can be captured at Cerulean Cave, because, as revealed once, Red discovers a still intact Pokemon mansion that serves as a 4-floor Cinnabar gym. SCP-3922-A shut down the illegal genetic experiments that created Mewtwo. Please go back and read the Blazing Saddles entry? Okay. Blazing Saddles, after Taggart and his posse raid Rock Ridge. Several SCP-3922-A instances attempt to arrest Headley Lamar and Taggart as the two discuss getting a new sheriff for Rock Ridge. However, Director Mel Brooks, current age as of this writing, bursts through the door bearing a stack of documents. The following exchange ensues. Hold it. Hold everything. Stop right there. Pardon me, this is... Wait a minute. You're Mel Brooks. You bet your ass I am, and you're all breaking in the terms of this contract. Visibly confused. I beg your pardon? Brooks hands the documents to the SCP-3922-A instances. They examine the documents thoroughly, unfolding several pages in various directions. Finally, the bewildered commander of the SCP-3922-A turns to Brooke. My apologies. We weren't aware of this. Could you hand it back? I'm not done just yet. SCP-3922-A does as instructed. Mel Brooks proceeds to face the camera and holds up a document revealing the signatures of several individuals, including the founder of the Foundation. You guys out there see this, right? Know what this means? It means you aren't allowed to ever conduct experiments on my films. Got that? Good. Brooks turns to the SCP-3922-A 3922A instances, you're all free to go. All SCP-3922A instances leave sheepishly to the confusion of Lamar and Taggart. The film resumes after Brooks leaves with no changes. Note. How? What the fuck? Interesting. Subject, Cannibal Holocaust. Oh my god. Interference point, unknown. Result, a still image of Symbol Initiative logo covered the screen with the phrase... What? I can't read. Underneath, examine it, maybe the footnote. Italian for abandon all hope ye who enter here. Underneath, examination of audio revealed there to be retching, gunfire, sobbing, and various people speaking and yelling in Italian. Several still frames were found upon examination of the footage depicting redacted. At the end of the film, a recording of the trial of director Diodato is played through. Though all civil servants were replaced by the instances of SCP-3922A. Diodato is cleared of murder charges but later found guilty of animal cruelty. As punishment, he is subjected to data expunged. Note, Jesus, that was brutal. For all animal lovers and the personnel, please don't watch this tape. You've heard of what happened to the animals when this was being filmed. I cannot stress enough that it isn't much better here either. If anyone needs me, I'll be scrubbing my eyeballs metaphorically. Yeah. Rip Turtle. They also kill monkeys. If I remember correctly, when they were filming and they had to kill the monkeys, they messed up the first time while filming, so they had to kill another monkey. There's a whole, like, documentary about it on Shudder. I think it's a part of the Curse Films collection, and Cannibal Holocaust has its own episode with, like, the director and the actors in the film and everything that they had to go through. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, Twilight Zone also had a documentary, I'm pretty sure. There's also a Wizard of Oz one. There's one about a Russian film, I think. Of course, I think, what is it called? My brain is blanking so bad. What is it? Poltergeist. Poltergeist had its own episode. Yeah. I don't think Come and See had its own episode. I don't think Come and See had its own episode. I have seen Come and See, though. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What looks familiar? What? Subject, recorded playthrough of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Kingdom Hearts Recoded and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep from the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix Collection. PlayStation 4 2017. All games are to be played in order of their original retail release with the exception of Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, which will be played after Kingdom Hearts 1 due to being a remake of the 2004 Game Boy Advance title Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Interference point, title screen of the HD Remix Collection. The title screen is a group shot of the player characters, several of which are wearing symbol iconography, as well as SCP-3922A instances referred to in-game as Lightning, Beatrix, Cecil, and Kane. It should be noted that these characters are... all of these instances strongly resemble characters from the Final Fantasy series. Result, plot deviates heavily from the source material. See below. What the fuck? I don't know enough about Kingdom Hearts to read all these. The Princess Bride. Okay, this is something I'm familiar with. Okay. When the grandfather begins reading the story to his grandson. During the course of the story, when the camera cuts back to the grandfather and grandson, SCP-3922A enters the room and requests to speak with the grandfather in private. The grandfather agrees, promising to finish the story. Both SCP-3922A and the grandfather exit the grandson's room and have a brief conversation. Analysis of the audio has revealed it pertained to SCP-3922A's abilities and how they might apprehend Prince Humperdinck and Count Rugen without interrupting the grandfather's time with his grandson. The grandfather assures SCP-3922-A that both characters will get what's coming to them by the end. SCP-3922-A accepts this answer and allows the grandfather to resume reading to his grandson. Though no change occurs to the story itself, SCP-3922-A instances can be observed in the background of certain scenes. The end credits conclude with this message. Though normally we'd waste no time in bringing such despicable characters as Rugen and Humperdinck to justice, we aren't going to ruin a bonding moment between a grandfather and his sick grandson. As fun as it may be, stop quoting Inigo Montoya. It's getting annoying. I need a cough drop. My throat hurty. And it's cute, yeah. Kung Fu Panda! When Poe uses the fireworks card to get into the Jade Palace to see who gets crowned as the Dragon Warrior. SCP-3922-A instances attempt to apprehend Poe for using fireworks without a license, but are immediately stopped by Master Oogway, who tells them to respect the new Dragon Warrior. SCP-3922-A instances apologize and leave. The same squadron of SCP-3922 instances raise the Chorgom prison to only get stopped by a ghostly figure of Master Oogway who tells them that the Dragon Warrior will take care of everything. He must do so as it is his fate. No changes for the rest of the movie. The end message says, "We do not change fate, carve your own path." It appears from this test that 3 Moons jurisdiction falls within realms of fiction where animals are sufficiently anthropomorphic, suggesting future tests wherein animal societies mimic human ones. Die Hard. When Hans Gruber and his men occupy Nakatomi Plaza, SCP-3922-A instances move to storm the building, attempting to take out Hans via sniper. However, Hans responds to this by contacting law enforcement and informing them that a heavily far-right militia posing as the US military is storming Nakatomi Plaza and relays the position of their snipers. As a result, when SWAT teams arrive, they engage in a firefight with the SCP-3922-A instances while attempting to storm the building. What ensues is a brutal engagement between the police and SCP-3922-A. Though both sustain heavy casualties, SCP-3922-A instances are sorely depleted and reduced to a 5-man squad. They inform that they will not be receiving backup so as to avoid an escalation. John McClane is able to join forces with the remaining instances, and together they are able to successfully convince the LAPD and SCP-3922-A is not their enemy. The two then work together to defeat Hans at the film's climax. The SCP-3922-A instances engage several of Hans' men, buying them time for McClane to reach the rooftop and prevent the deaths of the hostages. After John defeats Gruber and the hostages recovered, Carl is killed by fire from both SCP-3922-A and Officer Al Powell. No, I think this might have been better than the original film. Heresy. Oh! A recording of a playthrough of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Just before the garage boss fight with Jack Baker. At this part of the game, a deputy would arrive to help Ethan Winters, but Jack Baker would have killed said deputy. Instead, numerous SCP-3922-A instances invade the garage and administer the serum to Jack to cure the mold bioweapon. He is quickly cured along with the rest of his family as SCP-3922-A instances search for the Baker residence. In the final cutscene, it shows the molded creatures being destroyed throughout the home, as well as the BOW Evelyn, designated E001, being effectively neutralized. Precautions are made so that bioweapons are never used in the United States again. Mia Winters is also found inside along with some others who were captured. The 3 Moons Initiative brings Ethan and Mia back to their home safely. Nice! What? A recording of a playthrough of the online social deduction game Among Us, done in a private researcher-run server. The playthrough in question ends with an imposter victory, unrated, beginning of the playthrough. An addition player with the handle 3 moons spawns in at the start of the playthrough, with a black spacesuit and a gas mask, cosmetic consistent with masks worn by instances of SCP-3922-A. The game proceeds as normal until the first body is reported, with the SCP-3922-A instance appearing to follow the imposter just out of sight before catching them in the act of killing and immediately reporting the body. In the resulting meeting, the SCP-3922-A instance attempts to argue in favor of ejecting the correct imposter, writing that they caught them in the act, but is ejected after the imposter replies, "Black kinda sus, not gonna lie." The imposter is struck with what appears to be several dozen impaler events from all directions following the end of the meeting, after which the recording ends. I see. I see. Heavens feel! Oh my god. Fate Stay Night. Heavens Feel 1. Presage Flower. First 50 seconds into the film opens as original, with all relevant company logos, and the initial flashback sequence with Shiro Emiya practicing archery initially appears unchanged. However, when Shinji Mato appears at about 50 seconds into the movie, he is immediately shoulder tackled by an SCP-3922-A instance, followed by several more holding steel folding chairs who proceed to beat him to the point of apparent death with the chairs while yelling various expletives directed at his incestuous and rapacious behavior. Shiro is visibly confused and frightened by this and attempts to assist Shinji, but the initial SCP-3922-A instances block him and begin shaking its head slowly, telling him to just let this happen. The film then skips to what would ordinarily be around the 4-minute mark, with Sakura Mato arriving at the Emiya house, except in the change film, she is accompanied by yet another SCP-3922-A instance. Shiro reacts with confusion, as in the original film, but the instance cuts him off, stating that Sakura's grandfather, presumably Zoken Mato as in the original, has been executed for child abuse and human experimentation, and then when asked where she would be able to stay, Sakura chose the Emiya house. Shiro briefly looks dumbfounded, then nods and takes her inside. The film fully diverges from the original at this point, cutting to a shot of the Mato basement being invaded by SCP-3922-A instances holding flamethrowers, followed by a shot of the Mato house burning in its entirety. The film then proceeds as a relatively light romantic drama for the remainder of its original runtime, with Shiro and Sakura slowly entering a relationship, interspersed with the latter getting occasional psychotherapy sessions from yet another SCP-3922-A instance, wearing a lab coat and a stethoscope. The Holy Grail War Battle Royale featured in the original, as its central premise appears to be entirely missing, as is the character of Rin Tosaka, aside from a few passing mentions from Shiro's classmates and school scenes. I'm not entirely sure where this would fall under the don't give the SCP gods or super weapons blanket denial, but director Naismith appears to be on sabbatical, so better to beg for forgiveness than wait for permission. The SCP seems to have ignored several plot twists that come up in the second and third film, which gives me the impression that when given part of the series, it only maintains awareness of the specific part rather than the series as a whole. This merits further testing. Also, goddamn, it was satisfying to see Shinji get his shit beaten in with steel chairs. So true. I want to see that. I want to see that, but also Rin is my best girl, so it's like, you know. You know. Big stretch. Ah! That was a big stretch. Let me take a sippy. Oh, Tyler, thank you so much for the Streamlabs dono. At some point, they need to make an anti-version of this SCP who shows up in the media to make things significantly worse, just absolutely ruin someone's entire day in the name of evil, and then the two can fight to the death in the arena of combat. Oh my god. I think that would be interesting. I think I'm gonna have to go soon though, so let's try to find a fun one to wrap up on. I'm really sorry for the really short stream today. but I have a lot to do before I have to do my second stream. Gotta make sure that I clean my kitchen and also can cook some food to eat. Let's see. Yeah, I'm streaming again later. I have a stream in like 3 hours. Yeah. Whew. I want to read a good one before we leave. How about we read these 3 in a row? Death Note, Bo Burnham, and The Silence of the Lambs. Death Note Episode 1. Ryuk drops the Death Note in the human world and Light Yagami picks it up. As Light Yagami picks up the Death Note, an SCP-3922-A instance appears in front of him, introducing themselves as a member of the Three Moons Initiative. They explain to Light the dangers of the Death Note and how its use can lead to catastrophic consequences. The SCP-3922-A instance offers Light the option to surrender the Death Note to them, assuring him that it will be safely contained and that the initiative can assist him in finding other ways to make the world a better place. After some hesitation, Light agrees and hands over the Death Note. The SCP-3922-A instance thanks him and leaves, taking the Death Note with them. The rest of the episode shows Light continuing his daily life, pondering the SCP-3922-A entity's words and the power he almost wielded. The episode ends with Light staring at the sky, deep in thought. You do realize that we just gave the Three Moons a Death Note, right? I know that the Death Note can only kill humans, and they can do that easily, but the possibility of them doing a murder spree with the Death Note should not be ignored. Oh wow. Bo Burnham's inside. He never eats a potato chip, guys. The entire film. SCP-3922-A instances appear in the majority of shots throughout the film, although they do not appear to interact with Bo Burnham directly. Instead, they can be seen monitoring his actions and behavior, taking note of his mental state and creative output. The number of SCP-3922-A instances increased throughout the film. Despite their presence, Bo appears to carry on unaware of their presence. At the final shot, a SCP-3922-A instance places their hand on Bo's shoulder in an attempt to offer him support. However, Bo does not respond to the gesture and continues to watch what he has created. Everything else remains unchanged. Aww. And now the Silence of the Lambs. A scene where James Gum is about to kill Catherine Martin. As James Gum is about to lower Catherine Martin into the well, several instances of SCP-3922-A materialize and grab him. Gum attempts to resist, but the instances quickly overpower him and remove him from the well. One SCP-3922-A instance then enters the well and lifts Catherine Martin to safety. The remaining instances take James Gum away off screen. The film then abruptly ends. I see. Five Nights at Freddy's. 3922-A instances barge through the front door of the pizzeria and escort the night guard out, telling him that the pizzeria is closed due to health and safety concerns. A man wearing a purple outfit was seen being arrested for the murder of several children by other 3922-A instances. This man is assumed to be William Afton, also known as the Purple Guy from later entries. And why he Urple? The menu? I love this movie. Okay, this will be the last one I read. During the introduction of sous chef Jeremy Loden's The Mess, 15 instances of SCP-3922-A stormed the front entrance of Hawthorne carrying assault rifles, shooting Jeremy Loden and Julian Slowick non-lethally in the legs. Carrying the rear is Doug Varick wearing a harness with angel wings and handcuffs. The instances of SCP-3922-A enters the kitchen and procure several bowls of emulsions from the third course breadless bread plate and shrink wrap. They proceed to use emulsions and shrink wrap to waterboard and interrogate Tyler Ledford in the middle of the restaurant while rhetorically asking, "You wanted to be embalmed in this, right?" Tyler confesses over the course of 15 minutes to his correspondence with Chef Julian Slowick. The latter's plan to kill everyone present, the specifics of why Slowick wants to kill them, and the fact that Margot is an escort. Following this, SCP-3922-A instances arrest Slowick and his staff for attempted murder, as well as Bryce, Soren, and Dave for their white-collar crimes. The rest of the guests are escorted off the island to safety. Tyler is left in the restaurant. The duration of the film's runtime is dedicated to showing Tyler trapped on the island, unable to leave or call for help, and struggling to use the tools and ingredients for the restaurant's kitchen. Oh my goodness. Very interesting. I would like to see that. Alright. Let me find someone for us to raid real quick before we get into it. Ooh! Rin is streaming her Scrunkly pageant right now. So I will send you over to Rin and her Scrunkly pageant. Alright, let me do my super reading real quick. Let me move over. Yeah, alright. Kat, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Me and the community really appreciate it. Joshua, thank you so much for the super. Kat, thank you so much for the Streamlabs dono. And Tyler, thank you so much for the Streamlabs dono. I'm so sorry to have to leave so quickly and so shortly. I will be back in like 3 hours for our next stream, I promise. It was a short little SCP Research stream. We are returning to our regular SCP Research streams next Friday, where we will be going over a bunch of entries that I missed over the last few SCP Research streams we had last year. I had very kind souls give me lists of everything that we missed. So yeah, we'll go over those next Friday. Yeah. Cohen, thank you so much for the super. What if they fix old? There's no way to. Anyway, bye-bye.